Political storms are another matter. Frank Luntz monitoring who's going to have a lot of their prior comments come to light at the big debate tomorrow night. Hillary Clinton's email, some a little more than months old, or, of course, Donald Trump's now infamous comments about women some 11 years ago. Frank, play this out for me. What happens?
So we put a Twitter poll out there, and of course it's only as scientific as Twitter is. We had 21,000 respondents in a matter of less than 12 hours. And to my surprise, 44% said that Donald Trump should drop out. Neil, this is significant, that we've heard these comments from Trump in the past. His apologies have been weak at best. On the very same day that this comes to light, we have the data dump from Hillary Clinton, some of the comments that she has made in some of her speeches, as well as additional emails, and that every time that you think that Hillary Clinton, that the focus is going to move to her, Donald Trump says or does something that puts the limelight right back on him. This debate on Sunday will be the most important presidential debate that we have seen in, I don't know, 20, 30 years. Because if he doesn't soundly defeat her, this election will be over. That's how significant it is. His negatives are rising. In fact, we're starting another Twitter poll right now at Frank Luntz, whether it would be better for the Republicans to have Mike Pence or Donald Trump leading the ticket. I urge people to go there. And we're going to have the results for that on Media Buzz tomorrow at 11 a.m. This is significant, Neil. It is dominating the press coverage. It's pushing the hurricane away. And the voters are making up their minds right now. In fact, Neil, in a dozen states, they're actually voting right now. The election has begun. So this is Donald Trump's Waterloo.
All right. When you mentioned the 44% figure who think he should, I think you framed, drop out of the race. We obviously don't have a breakdown of who these folks are, whether they're Republicans or Democrats or whatever, but what is your sense of how these comments and what's coming to light differed from prior issues he's handled and recovered from?
Well, first off, you've got opinion elites. You've got Paul Ryan and Reince Priebus, a number of senators, a number of congressmen who are now saying that this is beyond what they can accept. You've got, for example, Barbara Comstock, who has withdrawn her support for Donald Trump in the critical race in Virginia. That you have Jason Chaffetz in Utah, who has said that he no longer supports Trump. These are major name people that are saying enough is enough. That's point number one. Point number two is that voters.
By the way, Frank, do we know who canceled the Wisconsin event? Who canceled on whom?
I can, in a matter of minutes, I can try to find out, and I will send it to you, Neil. I do not know
I was just curious. I was told it was they. It was Paul Ryan. And Senator Johnson and others, but it wasn't Donald Trump on them, but I could be wrong. But I interrupted you. Go ahead.
That they've moved from undecided to uncommitted, and that is also significant. So they've decided who they won't be voting for, but they're not yet willing to cast ballots. And in the communication I've had with voters over the last 24 hours, they are basically yelling at me that they don't want to lose to Hillary Clinton, but they are acknowledging that their candidate is now so weakened that they are desperate. They do not know what to do. And so we have this 48-hour period before tomorrow night when you're going to see more members of Congress speaking out, more party officials. Donald Trump's apology last night was not effective. If I was asked to write it for him, that's not what I would have done. You do not go back to Bill Clinton. You do not try to say, well, Bill Clinton did even worse, because in the end, I'm sure your parents raised you that just because other people are jumping off a bridge, you don't do it. Neil, this is a problem. And I know that the Republicans I'm talking to are just exasperated because they're tired of defending Donald Trump.
All right. Now, some of them were talking about that he should drop out. That's easier said than done, though. I mean, is there a mechanism in place on the right or the left where something like that happens in the middle of the fall campaign?
Yes, there is a mechanism. And what's interesting is we saw Mike Pence's presentation. We saw him debating Tim Kaine. He knows the issues. He's incredibly articulate. He's low-key. He is the anti-Trump Trump in the way that he presents himself. And that's why I wanted to do this Twitter poll. And I will have this information tomorrow at 11 o'clock for Fox News viewers. Mike Pence may just be the savior in this because he doesn't have any of the scandal.
But how
any
do
of the
they
problems.
do that, Frank? I mean, yeah, they might say that he doesn't carry that baggage, but how do they hand it to him or say, all right, this guy's a problem, you're now going to lead the ticket? What is the mechanism through which you do that?
It goes through the Republican National Committee, which are the state chairman and the 2 representatives of each state. In the end, the party is the one that determines who the nominee will be, and they do have the capability of doing this. Now, make no mistake, Neil, I do not believe that Donald Trump will drop out. I've never seen Donald Trump quit at anything. The guy is tenacious, and he's passionate. And he can prove on Sunday night that he deserves this nomination once again. But not with the apology that he gave, not with comparing his behavior with Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton was impeached by the House of Representatives. That is a very bad person to compare yourself with.
All right, real quickly, the flip side is Hillary Clinton and Republicans trying to say whatever Donald Trump said about women 11 years ago, they pale in comparison to flip-flops we've seen out of Hillary Clinton in emails and comments she made very favorable to the business community, to investment banking types, Wall Street honchos, of whom she's railed against during the campaign, and then on trade deals, that she was very open to trade deals, even though publicly on the stump she's against virtually all of them, that she sends mixed signals. But if you're right, she will get a pass on that, and the fixation will be more on what Donald Trump said about women, right?
So make no mistake, she's got a 53% negative rating, which is the highest of any Democratic nominee. She has more young people opposing her than any Democratic presidential candidate in a long, long time. That her support is soft, and that people have come to her simply because they don't like Trump, not because they are embracing her candidacy or her policies.
All right.
And the most important argument that I've heard is the one that says Donald Trump has said awful things. Hillary Clinton has done awful things. That's what's credible against her.
All right. We'll see what the media plays. I have a feeling I know already. Frank Luntz, thank you very, very much. Nikki Hill.